Today I'm going to go over this nifty little unit I got recently, the Retro Arcade Pac-Man Jakks TV unit. This comes with a dozen classic arcade games from the 80s heyday. Basically the unit itself, as you can see, it's fairly small. 2 buttons and a joystick, and not only is a recreation of the 25-cent coin slot, but when you turn it on, it glows. That's pretty cool. It's also a combination of a menu / pause button. I don't know how long these controls are going to last. I'll see about updating the description on the right eventually, how well this unit performs, how long the joystick and the buttons last. So you might want to keep your eye out on that for updates from time to time. Basically, I think the cord that plugs into your TV could be a little bit longer, just by a few inches. I mean, some of these TVs, well, the plugs are in the back, because I found on one TV, I was sitting not too far away from it. You don't need to sit really close to a gigantic TV, really. Also, I'd say that this pause button is kind of in the wrong place. It's kind of like where you have some, Game Boy Advance game, and the shoulder buttons are, some of the functions are just kind of, it's kind of skewed, really, as you're supposed to keep your eyes glued on the action at all times. You might find yourself, having to actually look at the controller to look for the pause button in case the phone or the doorbell goes off, and then you found you've lost a life because you're fumbling around for it. Not too difficult with the Pac-Man games, but when you got others on here where pressing buttons as well as moving the joystick, yeah, you're going to kind of get confused here. Menu selection is a breeze. You just move left or right and press the A button to choose a game. Joystick, don't work that great on some of the maze games where you got to turn a lot of quick corners, and usually doesn't respond right a fair amount of the time. Could be a bit better in that respect. So no further ado, hey, let's check out the game. Oh, you son of a... Oh, well, what's there to say about Pac-Man? I mean, you eat the dots, you're chased by monsters, you avoid the monsters, eat these energizers that'll enable you to eat the monsters for a brief amount of time, chomp on the bonus prize, etc., etc. No point wasting more time with that. Pac-Man Plus is a little bit different. It's sped up a little bit. Prices are strange. You got what appears to be a can of Coke, loaves of bread, and stuff like that. And they act as energizers, too. They usually make the monsters invisible, but you could eat them. And at times, even when you eat the energizers, one monster won't turn blue. And other times, the maze will turn invisible. So it's definitely a nice step up from Pac-Man. And then for something totally different, you have Super Pac-Man. It really changed the Pac-Man formula back then. You didn't eat any dots at all. To unlock parts of the maze in order to get to the food. And along with that, you have 2 Super Pac-Man energizers, which once you eat one of those, not only does it make you gigantic and invulnerable to monster attacks, the press of the speed button, you get to go super fast to the maze and even crash through the barriers, so you won't need a key to unlock those areas. Then really straying from the Pac-Man formula even more is Pac Pal. Again, like Super Pac-Man, you unlock the areas of the maze in order for you to eat anything, which again, you don't eat any dots. But then you also don't even eat any of the monsters. What you do instead, you unlock special icons like the tractor beam from Galaga, and you zap the monsters with that, or the smoke screen from Rally X. Now, that doesn't make me sadistic in saying I think it's really hilarious when you zap them with the smoke screen that the monster's eyes tear up, does it? Nah. Also, as far as the namesake goes, you have this annoying little past name as Pal. Yeah, sure, he's a real pal, where he swipes your items and takes them back into the monster pen. Yeah, real nice. Also, like Super Pac-Man, you also have your share of bonus stages as well. And if you don't want to just play a bunch of Pac-Man games, well, you got some space games too. There's Bosconian. Fly around, destroy space fortresses. You can either do so by destroying all the pods on them, or a well-placed shot right up the middle will do it. You also have to avoid or shoot smaller crafts and avoid or destroy various space junk like meteors and space mines. There's also Galaxian, which is a real step up from the Space Invaders genre back then, where coming in color this time around. Yeah, I remember that when they actually had games that were in black and white back then. Here the aliens actually broke formation and dive bombed you. And then an even bigger improvement over that was Galaga. Not only do the aliens fly into formation firsthand and they dive bomb you, there's also a ship that will capture one of your reserve ships, and when you free that up, you get double firepower. This really elevated the Space Invaders genre to just incredible heights, and most people in general say this is the best bottom-of-the-screen shooter game ever made. And speaking of games that redefine genres, there's also Xevious, really proved the scrolling shooter genre by shooting targets on land and in the air. The game also had really incredible graphics from back then, just a wide variety of enemies. I mean, where do you get these disappearing 8-balls? Where do you see that in any other game ever? And then coming back to Earth, pardon the pun, well, sorta, with Mappy, this strange platformer, you navigate through a house collecting all these objects, and you do that by jumping on trampolines while avoiding cats. Yeah, that makes a lot of sense. Also not making sense, and people bitching about violence in video games from back then. They were even whined about killing all these robots in Berserk. Oh no, how could you? I don't know how Dig Dug got underneath the radar. It's a pretty big hit. I mean, you blow up creatures until they explode. I guess people didn't bitch about that because there's no blood in it or something. You also get to smush them with rocks. Yeah, this is family entertainment at its finest. But I guess it's okay as long as you eat your bonus veggies. And then finally rounding out the pack, pardon the pun again, pole position. And just a basic racing game. Try not to crash into any of the cars and make the lap in a decent amount of time so you get extended plays. And that's pretty much it. Now, Pac-Man, Pac-Man Plus, Super Pac-Man, Galaga, and Mappy were all, aside from a tiny glitch in Super Pac-Man, I think all these games were perfectly recreated. I think the sounds are off a tiny bit in the background tune in Mappy, but other than that, you know, they play perfectly fine, just like the arcade counterparts. Dig Dug gets, it's kind of a strange treatment. I guess they wanted to recreate most of the arcade games had a tall vertical screen, and it's so big it scrolls around a little bit, which, I mean, it plays exactly the same as the original, but there are times when you think the round's done with and the music keeps on going, then you realize there's a creature that's nearing the top of the screen. You can't see it, so you got to scroll up and find it, which is, and most of the time you're going to be too late anyway. It's kind of stupid, but doesn't detract from the game too much. Galaxian, however, fares a bit worse. You know, the purple aliens, they're supposed to come in a wide arc, go back in a little bit, and then go back to the arc again. No, they come down just exactly like the green aliens. Now, that's pretty wrong. I mean, they're supposed to be tough to shoot. And then even worse yet, the escort ships, a lot of times during a wave, they will not come down at all. You're looking at an actual screenshot. You see how few aliens are left. And the flagships are still there. I mean, I don't have a video camera, so I can't, you know, do a really fast forward of a video where I go through an entire wave and you'll see for yourself that they hadn't come down. No, they haven't come down at all. That's just really wrong. It doesn't totally destroy the gameplay, but I'm a bit disappointed. I mean, it's stupid. This is a simple thing. You know, why change this? Now, a really dumb design flaw here was that this is a 4-directional joystick, not 8-directional. You cannot do diagonals here at all. Believe it or not, this doesn't detract from Bosconian much. Sure, it'd be nice to get a quick diagonal shot on some ship that's annoying you and it shows here during the intro you're flying diagonally. No, that's not right. That's crap. You cannot do that. But I've still gotten scores of over 170,000, so it doesn't detract from the game much. However, it almost totally destroys Xevious. You cannot move up and left or down and right or whatever to avoid something. The game's not totally unplayable, but it's monstrously annoying. I mean, I can't even get to the freaking mothership. I played this game several times. You can't get very far on it without diagonals. They totally screwed this one up. I mean, the Atari 7800 version of this is much better because, oh yeah, guess what? You move diagonally. It's totally wrong. The sounds are totally screwed up too, but I mean, I would overlook that, but you know, the controls just totally kill it. Now, believe it or not, I mean, even though you don't have a steering wheel for pole position, the joystick twists left and right, and it's actually not bad at all. I think pole position plays pretty much the same. I didn't play this that much in the arcade. I didn't really have anything against it, but I just was never much into racing games. New Rally X, I can't really comment on. I've played it on MAME before, and you know, you can't really trust ROMs if you never played a game before and you're not sure if you're playing the official product or not. The cars seem to bunch up much more than on the ROM version. You only start off with one chase car on the first screen, which I don't think is right. I don't think they even did that on the original Rally X, if I remember correctly. So I don't know, but it doesn't matter because it's still a lot of fun. Pac Pal, I never even heard of until a few years ago, so I can't comment on that at all if it was run or not. But I can see why it didn't take off, but it really should have. It's a lot of fun. So there you have it, a dozen games. Not much was really ruined at all, except for Xevious or Xevious. I don't even know how that's pronounced, to be honest. Like I said, I'll update the description over time to get back on how well the controls have worked, which, I mean, they really need to have the rapid fire option where you hold down the button and it'll just keep on firing. I mean, constantly pressing the button, I think it's going to wear it out pretty quick. Who knows? These games have been ported all over the place except for Pac Pal and Super Pac-Man, so it looks like right now it's really worth the piddling $18 that I paid for it. And I don't understand why all these months later after it's been released, I've been seeing it online for $30, $40. I mean, I got it for 18 bucks at Target, so, you know, I definitely see about picking it up. Doesn't have that many shortcomings. I give it an 8 out of 10 as it is, and, hey, why am I still talking? I need to go play. Oh, you son of a...